Hello there everybody, this is Voccio here, and first of all I'd like to apologise for reusing footage that I used before, but I don't generally record when I play my games and I don't have time to make a new recording for this one right now, because I have to go out shortly, and I wanted to make this video while all this was fresh in my mind, and this is the only relevant footage I've got around to do this, obviously, because it's Devil May Cry I'm going to be talking about, so yeah, I apologise for that guys. Like I said, I want to make this while this is all fresh in my mind, you know, I don't want to forget anything I want to say. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So my thoughts on the DMC franchise overall. Well, I guess we should start with what I remember best. What my first Devil May Cry game was, the first one I played, was number 3, back on PlayStation 2. And best one to start with, right guys? How amazing was that game? You know, the story of it, the characters, the combat, the boss fights. Yeah, I don't think there were any bad ones, actually, at all. Any really bad ones. Of course, the fights against Virgil were awesome. And, you know, I'll talk about the game overall before I talk about the special edition. Because what I loved about Devil May Cry 3, what for some reason I fell in love with, and the thing is, I'm generally against this kind of stuff unless it works, and I don't know how they made it work in Devil May Cry 3, but I personally felt that it was always like really, at least Dante, you know, and the story overall was really like it had a campy feel to it, which sounds weird, you know, for a badass demon hunting game. It sounds weird, but I always thought it felt like kind of campy, but in a good way, and I think it really worked for it, and the tone was right, if you ask me, for the game. And it made it really fun, and it made it really interesting, and it made you really fall in love with the characters, you know? It made me fall in love with Dante, it made me fall in love with Lady, and I absolutely adored Virgil as a villain. I thought he was brilliant. And, you know, the first scene of... one of the first scenes of Dante's epic badassery was when he's talking to the Cerberus boss, and he's just like... You know, you want doggy treat or whatever. I don't remember exactly what he says, but you know, I thought that was hilarious to me. And, you know, this was way back in like 2004, 5 when the game came out. So you know, it was a long time ago, and I was a lot younger back then. And it was actually the first, I think that Devil May Cry 3 was the first hack and slash I ever played as well. I don't think I ever played one before it, so it was like the first one I touched on. And I really, really enjoyed it. You know, like I said, I thought the game was awesome. I loved the characters of it so much, and because what I thought was beautiful about it was it took itself seriously in some aspects, but it didn't take itself seriously in others. And I think the balance was right. Like, you know, it took this story between Dante and Virgil fairly seriously. You know, like they're brothers, but you know, Dante doesn't really want to fight Virgil as much as Virgil wants to fight Dante, and you can see that in, you know, how they act, and then. And you know, Virgil obviously has his quest for power that he cannot abandon because he feels he needs to do it. And there's a lot of like complications to characters and a lot of you know. I always felt, and this is me personally, I did always feel that Virgil has some kind of internal conflict, you know, for his battles with Dante. Like at least I hope that's how it is, you know. But like he didn't generally feel that they should fight, but he didn't have a choice because he couldn't abandon, you know, his goals. And it really gave the characters layers and complexity. It was something that I really enjoyed. Because the thing is, and it was the first one I played, like I said, and, you know, I hadn't played Devil May Cry 1 by that point. And I hadn't seen, you know, how the story between Dante and Virgil went in that one, you know, with Nilo Angela. And when I did, and when I started to, you know, really realise... Because I didn't realise immediately, obviously, that it was Virgil. I did kind of have a feeling, but, you know, obviously I hadn't seen his face. And then I was like, you know, when I found it was Virgil, I was like, oh yeah, it makes sense. He actually fights with honour, you know? He fights like an honourable warrior would. And I said, yeah, that makes sense. No, I'm not surprised that's Virgil. And then, you know, next I was like, what the fuck happened to him? You know, which obviously we don't know. We were never shown what happened to Virgil. Just that, you know, he just got taken by Mundus and possessed or something. But you know, so then along came bloody auto shut down on this headset. Then along came the special edition, you know, and where you could play as Virgil. And guys, I've got to tell you, I fell in love with the character. Why do you think I'm playing him here in bloody Palace? Because, you know, when I heard that Capcom were remaking Devil May Cry 4, and, you know, we were going to get Virgil and as a playable character, and Lady and Trish, I was like, holy shit, I can't wait to play as Virgil. You know? And Lady and Trish are alright too, but obviously they're not my favourite characters. I like, because the thing is, for me personally, I could never get used to the complexity of all of Dante's attacks. Because he just has too much he can do, you know? And I don't know what it is, but I could never find, like, an attack chain I liked, or a style that I liked. Whereas I loved Virgil's style of fighting. You know, he only has 3 weapons, so he's got enough variation in his attacks for it to feel fresh and interesting, but not too much that it's overwhelming, you know? From a mechanics standpoint. I also like, you know, how just cool he is about everything. Like, his fighting style, you know, he just stands there. Literally just stands there for about fucking 3 hours while all the enemies are around him. He's like, yeah, whatever, it's cool. Then they start attacking us, and then he just fucking wrecks them, you know? He literally waits the last possible second, then just utterly wrecks everything, which I just think is so fucking cool, you know? So I like that as well. That's another aspect of his character I really enjoy. So yeah, when it comes down to it, I do prefer playing as this character in Devil May Cry. You know, even though I know most of the story in the DMC games is devoted to Dante, you know, and in DMC 4 Nero, and in DMC 3 it was Lady, and all that. So yeah, but I personally prefer playing as Virgil in these games. You know, that's just me. So let's talk about the first one now. The second one I played. Well, there's not really much to talk about, because the story was cheesy as all hell, you know, it was even cheesier than number 3 because it was an earlier game. I do, obviously, well, what can I really say about it, except that it was a good game for the time, and I did enjoy it when I played it, but it is inferior to Devil May Cry 3 in a lot of ways, you know, the mechanics of it, the way the combat works, how fast you can, or at least how fast I could fight things. You know, I could be way faster in number 3. I could clear an entire room much faster than I could in number 1. So speed differences were definitely, I definitely felt that. You know, maybe other people didn't, but that's what it was like for me. There's not really much to say on number 1, because, you know, I mainly just wanted to cover the stuff about Virgil being in it, and I think I've talked enough about the mechanics, because it didn't really, because, you know, like I said, the problem is I didn't play that game first. I'm sure if I had, I would feel, you know, differently about it, but obviously DMC3 is better than number 1, and I kind of had already played 3, you know, so I'd experienced a better version of quality, so it was kind of, you know. I mean, it's a good game, don't get me wrong, good game, amazing for its time, but, you know, I'd already played number 3, which is the better game between the two, and, yeah. Number 2, I didn't even finish it, guys. And the thing is, I didn't play number 2 until the HD remake, until the HD collection dropped on PS3, and I bought it because I wanted to play number 3 again, and number 1. Well, probably number 1. But yeah, I did want to play number 3 again, and so I bought the collection. And I mean, the thing is, you know, I did play number 3 and number 1 back on PS2. But I did not play number 2 until I got the HD collection on PS3. I did not finish it, guys. I didn't, so... And I don't even remember too much about it because I barely fucking played it. So I'm sorry, I can't really say much about number 2 except it sucked balls. So then there's number 4, which, once again... Why did they have to remake it? You know? Like, I mean, I'm not saying that the remake is a bad thing, but Virgil should have been in from the start, and he should have been a big part of the story. I don't get what Capcom was thinking with it, like, I really don't. They had the chance to, you know, so, with number 3, with number 1 and number 3 in order, when they were released, but, you know, the story is different, because 3's a prequel, and I believe even number 4 is set before number 1, so, you know, make your own fucking judgments or whatever. I don't get why they felt the need to exclude him, because I always loved the story between the brothers. You know, I loved the sense of conflict there was between them having to fight each other. You know, they could tell... I always felt that they didn't want to fight. Neither of them wanted to fight the other, but they felt they had to, you know? Because of their ideals and what they stood for. And it was, you know, like I said, it was a really really cool conflict of interest for the both of them, and it made their characters so complex and interesting to me personally. And I will mention Devil May Cry 3 briefly. I mean that, when you fight in Arkham as twin, as the twin brothers, you're fighting together and it's all cool, and it's all amazing, and yay! Then there's the jackpot moment and where they shoot the guns, and Virgil's like, "I'll try it your way for once," and I'm like, "Yeah, Virgil, you're a badass." So another thing I loved about it. But coming back to DMC4, I don't get me wrong, I like Nero. I don't have a problem with him, and if he is Virgil's son, then that's cool. But we don't know that for sure. But there's a lot of fucking evidence to support it, him being his son, so he probably is his son. But yeah, DMC4. While I like the fact that he's in the game, I don't have a problem with Nero as a character at all. I really don't. I think he's got like. He's similar to Virgil in the fact that he doesn't have too many attacks. In fact, I don't think he's got enough. I think he's a bit too simple, Whereas Dante is ridiculously complicated in what he can do. Obviously, I think Nero, in comparison, is really, really limited in what he's capable of. Because everything relies on his buster, and it's good, but So yeah, I wish Virgil had been in DMC4 originally, and he got on a fucking full story campaign of his own with cutscenes and everything, and not just one at the beginning, one at the fucking end, like they gave him. Like what the fuck, Capcom? Seriously, come on, put some effort into it. And then there was DMC, Devil May Cry. This is a funny one for me, guys, because the thing is, I like the gameplay of DMC. I actually think it's really good. It's tight, it's well done, it's fast, it's fun. And that's the problem, isn't it? That's the fucking problem right there, because I hate the characters. I really fucking hate them. I think they're terrible. And that's that's internal conflict for me. The thing is, I like the game. I like playing the game. When I'm in combat, when I'm killing shit, when I'm fighting, I'm having fun with it, It certainly has that aspect to it, in my own opinion, once again. But I'm just, the thing is, even though I hate the characters in the game, which I fucking do, I'm not going to hate on the gameplay, Because the gameplay was good. The level design was good as well. I think they incorporate the angel pull and demon pull systems fairly well. And that was all pretty good. And then there was a DLC who came out, whereas once again Virgil was the better fucking character, if you ask me, and I do prefer playing as him. And they didn't even give him the full foot, which I don't get, right? In every single game that Virgil has appeared in, besides DMC Devil May Cry, he had all 20 campaign missions that you could play as him in. Why didn't you just give us the ability to just do it again? Just give us the ability to play as him through Dante's campaign. Even if we don't get any fucking story, he's fun to play as. It's how it's worked. It's how it works, It's how he always gets put into these fucking games. It saddens me, but at the same time, I get to kick ass with him. So I don't know. I don't know why they only gave him like six missions of his own. And then there's his character in DMC, which obviously he had no honor. Didn't give a shit about. I'll say this, right? I'm not against artistic changing of characters and everything, and forms of art. That's fine. But when you're going to change characters, you have to remember what made them popular in the first place. And both Dante and Virgil had nothing, in my opinion, from their original selves, which is why they sucked ass. So yeah, that's about everything I wanted to say on the franchise, I think. So yeah, DMC 1, great starting point. DMC 3 knocks it out the fucking park. Amazing story, made me fall in love with the franchise. DMC 2 sucks. DMC 4, great return to form for the franchise once again. Virgil should have been in it from the start. Pardon me. Oh, DMC Devil May Cry. Yeah, go fuck yourselves, Ninja Theory. What were you thinking, guys? But yeah, anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm out. See you in the next one. And once again, that's the end of the video. And thank you for watching it again. I appreciate your time. If you liked it a lot, if you enjoyed listening to me talk about it, then please give me a like. If you want to see more of my content, then head over to my channel, check out my stuff. You might find something there that interests you. If you wanted to stay up to date on my content and see more in the future, then sub, and obviously you get it when it comes out and you'll be able to watch it. Leave me a comment down below if I mentioned anything that you may want to address or you may want to talk to me about, and I'll try to respond to it if I can. And if you really enjoyed the video and you think your friends might like it too, then consider sharing it, which I would greatly appreciate if you did that. It would really help me a lot. You know, more viewers, more interest and all that. So yeah guys, thanks for watching. Thank you very much for your time. I do truly appreciate it. And I'm out. I'll see you in the next one.